when he put his hand on Mourinho's head. And yesterday, you may have noticed, just at the end, Mourinho went over. He never forgets. Up went the hand.
Oh, dear.
Just gave him a little pat. Yeah, not so fast, Mr. Bond.
Pride comes before a fall.
Amazing game of football. And in the middle of it all, the most important game of all, Arsenal.
Yeah, well
also won. 2-1.
This is better from Arsenal.
Deserve a bit of praise. And to Villa fans, I mean, including Prince William, of course, who claims to be a Villa fan. And David Cameron, who when he could remember he was a Villa fan.
Or a West Ham
Sometimes
fan?
thought it was West Ham because the colours looked a bit the same. Anyway, to all Villa fans, it doesn't really get any better than that, does it? So congratulations to all of you.
Let's find out what the weather's doing. Here's Laura.
Yes. FIA, FIA, I'm not sure what it is, Karting World Championships. This is a serious thing. This is professional karting at its very best, World Championship, at the Lonato circuit. And a driver called Luca Corberi, who something had gone on, he was out of the race. And so he did this to the driver that he blamed for his exit. Behaviour. Now, there was a moment on Friday's show, which I watched live, which I felt very angry about because it involved, well, Kate was sitting here and Dominic West came on, who I like, we all like Dominic West, we've had him on the show many times. And he was asked for his reaction to Donald Trump getting coronavirus, and he did this. I've had very positive views of him, and this year very negative views of him. A lot of people love him, a lot of people hate him. It doesn't matter, though. If a human being gets this coronavirus, which we know has killed 1 million people, particularly if a human being is in his 70s, has underlying, weight issues and so on. So therefore, quite a lot of risk. And forget Trump's behaviour. Forget everything for a moment. As a human being, to say you jump for joy when you hear someone's got coronavirus, and to say it, frankly, when you have a presenter of a show whose husband is still in a coma, I found that unacceptable.
How did you find it, Kate?
Kate, I know that you've...
Best personally, whatever your views of him
you said that on air
I said that on air to him, yeah. And I don't think he meant that, but I think it is he's not a Trump supporter, and I think it's a symptom of Donald Trump's behaviour throughout this pandemic that he's appeared to thumb his nose at it, and that's not being allowed to see them. So why does he think it's more important for him to get in?
Well, there are two issues. I think there are two issues.
Just if I could finish momentarily, please. If he'd shown that he was respecting the people around him and respecting the isolation, that would have been a heroic message, and that would have absolutely.
But I think there are two issues
the whole
here.
country, and that's a shame that he didn't.
But I think there are two issues. Yeah, but there are two issues. I think, are there? One is Trump's behaviour generally through the pandemic and is ongoing, and I think we can be rightly critical. I am very critical of the way he's conducted himself before, during and right now, everything about it. However, and it's an important however, this is still a situation where if you genuinely wish somebody
No, I agree. I don't.
Or if you, there were other people.
Nobody would do that.
There was a former Obama White House staffer who actually tweeted that she was somebody. Right, you've surely basic humanity. She talks about her moral identity. Your moral identity should be, I hope he makes a full recovery. I hope his wife does. I hope everybody else does. You can still criticise him to hell for everything that he's done wrong in this pandemic and for his conduct right now with the ridiculous thing to go in the car. But that doesn't mean you should wish him dead. And if you do wish him dead, or you wish him harm, or you jump for joy when you hear that someone you don't like has coronavirus, then you have a problem too with your humanity and your moral identity.
Isn't that divisiveness he's created, though? Some would argue.
It is,
that's what Dominic West might argue.
Yeah, but then, as Michelle Obama said, when they go low, you go high.
Quite.
Otherwise, you're just as bad as the person you're hating. You're just as bad. And we've got to get away from this as a society.
There is no justification for wishing ill on somebody.
No, absolutely.
But, Kate, I think you make a good point. Donald Trump has not shown compassion. When Hillary Clinton was ill during the previous campaign...
It doesn't matter, Susanna.
The Mickey out
it doesn't
of
matter,
her.
though.
He doesn't show compassion.
Right,
he didn't show compassion to Joe Biden about his son during the debate. That does not justify wishing someone dead.
The moment you say but, I think you're falling, if I may say so respectfully, you're falling into a trap. The moment you say, I hope he doesn't die, but... right, then I think that...
I didn't say I...
No, but what you say is
but...
because he showed a lot of compassion to Hillary Clinton, which is true, he did, but then he was roundly lambasted by many of the people
And then
right
he did
now.
it again during the last debate.
But he's being...
He has lowered the standard
I get it,
pretty
but
low,
if you lower yourself
unfortunately.
to the same standard... when you apply it to him, you are no better than him.
Yeah.
That's my point.
You're
no better.
You've got to draw him up, haven't you? Even if you're against him politically,
well,
rather than
look in the mirror and say to yourself, can I really criticise Trump for being lacking in compassion and empathy if when it comes to him having a deadly virus, I show him zero compassion or empathy and want him dead? The answer is no, you can't.
No, of course.
So my point is, you've got to be in your head, and when you look in that mirror and look at yourself, you've got to be fair-minded to how you view these things.
I think
otherwise you're as bad.
OK, lots more still to come on Good Morning Britain. It's just coming up to 27 minutes past 7. Let's get the news, travel and weather where you are.
OK, competition time now. Andy Peters has the details of how you could win £500,000.
Look at the front pages. A new 3-tier lockdown system is being... Can I just say we've lost Andrew Pearce?
He's gone to a dentist,
Not
hasn't he?
for any... yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Purely for an administrative reason. He's had to go and get a dental appointment. So bye, Andrew. Sorry about that. Douglas Ross, I just want to talk to you about Scottish independence. Because you said on Saturday that the Conservative Party need to end the defeat and disinterest regarding Scotland's future in the UK. Support for Scottish independence has increased during the pandemic. By many accounts, Nicola Sturgeon has been pretty powerful and on a number of occasions.
Just gone 8 o'clock, President Trump's been accused of astounding irresponsibility for putting a security detail at risk of contracting COVID-19 while he travelled in an armoured car. Out with Top Gear stars Paddy McGuinness and Chris Harris. The live are
Good morning to you. Well, let me tell you what's coming up.
In breach of coronavirus regulations at the weekend. It was Abraham's birthday party, I think. Packed party, 20 friends and family, clear breach of all COVID rules.
Rule of 6,
Which my
guys.
question would be, well, why isn't the FA just dropping them? And when are England players going to wake up? How many more of them have to ignore the COVID rules before they get the penny dropping in their heads that actually, if you don't, then we end up back in national lockdown? Just completely irresponsible. And sorry, Gareth Southgate is England manager. He's got to take a stand. He's got to drop these players. They've got to learn there are consequences.
Well, apart from
to this
anything else,
kind of
don't they
reckless
put
behaviour.
the rest of the squad at risk if they've been to
The point is, most of our viewers are
weekend?
trying to obey these very complicated, very annoying rules. We all hate them. But if we don't all do it, and if we just have parties for 20 people for our birthdays and ignore everything, and the case rate continues to go up very high, then we'll go back into lockdown. That's what happens. It's utterly ridiculous that England footballers, after we just had 2 of them, sent home from a game abroad because they squirreled girls into their room, breaking all the rules then. 3 more of them. Think that's a good idea.
The number of cases of COVID in the UK has jumped by nearly 23,000 after it emerged test results had not been properly logged.
Well, it comes as Ireland and Paris face much stricter lockdown restrictions, while a government leak here has revealed there's a new 3-tier traffic light lockdown system that's being planned. We can speak now to Professor Devi Sridhar, who's an expert in global public health, Professor Martin Land.